So we left off with you telling me about a new product that you're working on. So just tell me something about it.
We are introducing high protein fresh milk. High protein because this is still fresh milk, but it has 3 times more proteins than your regular cow milk, and it has 2 times less lactose. Lactose is the sugar in the milk.
Right.
It's 2 times less lactose, and it's fat free as well. Nobody in India is doing this. We are the first one to would be coming up with this product.
And tell me something about yourself. You weren't introduced earlier, so I would want to know something about you.
Well, Siddharth is a very close friend of mine, and I am basically a normal businessman. I do deal in dry fruits, and also a fitness enthusiast. I have done a lot of transformation to myself. I was pretty fat earlier. When I just passed my college, I was a little bigger than how I look now. I look big now also, but I look better big thanks to the fitness industry. He used to come to my home, and he used to see my protein powders, which I essentially take because I'm a pure vegetarian guy. I'm a Jain also. So we used to discuss about it. He used to ask me, यार तू इतना प्रोटीन खाता है, तेरे को डाइजेस्ट होता है क्या? मतलब इतना प्रोटीन थोड़ी खा सकते हैं हम लोग, इतने सारे डब्बे पड़े तेरे पास में, तो तू मैं तो खाता नहीं हूँ. Why are you hell bent on having this supplement? So that's where it started, I believe, when we both used to discuss, and I used to explain him कि यार देख अपनी डाइट से अपने को इतना ही प्रोटीन मिल सकता है, हम कितना खाएंगे दिन भर में, बिकॉज फॉर स्पेशली वेजिटेरियंस द अमाउंट ऑफ प्रोटीन वी नीड डेली टू फुलफिल दैट विथ नेचुरल डाइट इट बिकम्स वेरी हार्ड, बिकॉज along with the protein what you eat in the vegetarian diet, it comes with other macros like carbohydrates. You have to eat a lot of carbohydrates, like for example the dal. If you want to have, let's say, 10 grams of protein, you have to eat at least 30 grams of carb with that. So that's why he's told me ki yaar, what about if I can give you something with milk, a milk which is high in protein and less in fat. I said, excellent man, matlab, it's a very good thing. So that's where the whole thing started.
So like you were saying कि body को ज़रूरत होती है एक certain amount of protein की. Is there any kind of say distinction कि इतना protein चाहिए body को and all for all of us?
It is a very simple equation. Like it depends on your lifestyle, how much you move in a day, and if you don't move at all in a day, so your body keeps growing, right? So for growing, it needs the nutrients. So let's say you follow a simple lifestyle, you don't work out much, you just go to your office, come back home and sleep. For that person also, you need X grams of protein per kg of your weight. Okay. For example, you are 60 kg of weight, so at least 60 grams of protein you need daily. Good source from the good sources. And if you, let's say, work out extensively, you lift a lot of weights, or maybe you are an athlete, you run or you play some sport, you need at least 1.5x of the same kilogram. So if you are 60, you need at least 90 grams of protein in a day. So to fulfill that, either you can eat as much and also load yourself with other macronutrients like carbs, or you segregate your food, you choose to eat foods which are high in protein, or you take supplements in the end. If you are not able to fulfill with the natural diet, then you go for the whey powder or the casein powder which is available in the market. That's how it works.
How difficult is it, for example, say for you to fulfill your protein intake?
Look, since I said I'm a vegetarian guy, it is very difficult to fulfill this with all natural sources. Because dairy, I'm talking about the non-vegetarian food, the eggs, the chicken, the fish, it is a well-known fact that this is very high in protein.
Right.
And the vegetarian food, तो अब भी होता क्या है कि we eat things like rajma, dal or sprouts. Those things are good, but they are not better than the dairy. If you talk about protein per se. So it is difficult to fulfill. So that's why people like me who are purely vegetarian, they have to go for powders to fulfill that requirement.
Right. And for you being a non-vegetarian, how does that work out?
I think there's a perception कि for जो non-veg खा रहे हैं उनको तो कोई powder लेने की ज़रूरत नहीं है. But if we actually consciously calculate कि कितना protein हम लोग ले रहे हैं, so I'm a Punjabi, I eat all sort of meat. But so my wife, she actually works out and she actually calculates the amount of nutrition in terms of what she's eating. So it's everything she calculates, ghee kitna ja raha hai, as in oil kitna ja raha hai, sugar kitna le rahi hai, and protein. So we just had a small conversation and she said ki even after eating say X number of eggs, she was having about 5 to 6 eggs in a day. She was having chicken breast as in to complete her quota of nutrition. She was not able to fulfill her nutrition requirements in terms of protein nutrition requirements according to her weight.
Even with all this being daily.
Yes. So she was taking, just like Nilesh said, हमारे घर पे भी काफ़ी डब्बे हैं प्रोटीन के. But that is something which again we discussed कि ये it's not something which we would ideally like to go to. हमें ऐसा लगता है, like both me and my wife were discussing, if we would definitely want to consume something which is natural. मतलब ऐसी चीज हो जो मतलब अगर बाहर रख दो खराब हो जाए. मतलब एक सेब खा लो आप, मतलब अगर मैं 2 दिन सेब को बाहर रख दूं तो वो सूख के खराब होके get rotten. We need things like that. We don't want a powder which even stays outside for say, अगर आप expiry check करोगे protein powder की, I think it's more than 3-4 years. So we don't want to consume stuff which has a larger expiry or a shelf life. We want natural stuff. So it's difficult for non-vegetarians as well to complete their protein intake. And I think we would, so this particular product, when Siddharth told me he's going to launch, I've shared it with a few friends of mine who are non-vegetarians, and they are eagerly waiting for such a product to come out, because a lot of people, again as I said, natural तो चाहिए और I think milk, glass of milk अगर मैं उठा के पी लूँ और मेरा nutrition protein complete हो रहा है, I think nothing like that, because ये protein powder खा के भी ना, मतलब it has a very bad aftertaste. I'm talking about on behalf of all my friends as well. So this is a common notion among us. मतलब it's not something which I would like to take. There are digestion issues which multiple of my friends who work out regularly and have those milkshakes or protein shakes. So there's a digestion issue. I think we would all love to shift to something which is natural, fresh, has a shelf life, as in just for a couple of days. So that is something that we are looking forward to.
और वो प्रोसेस्ड भी होता है ना, तो इस like so you're how are you all going about the production?
I'll have to get into a little bit of chemistry of milk. So milk are
He gets into chemistry every time.
So we've got 5 major macro components in milk, and it starts with the largest molecule is fat. जैसे मलाई आपके ऊपर आ जाती है दूध के बाद, because it's the biggest molecule, it would rise up. The second big molecule that you have is proteins. The third biggest molecule that you have is lactose. The fourth is your minerals and your calcium and magnesium and other things, and then you've got water being the smallest molecule. Now if you look at traditionally how these, so if these are the 5 nutrients, right, it's very easy to remove fat out of milk because it's sitting at one end of the spectrum. Right, तो घर पे जैसे मलाई आ गई, वो it's sitting at one end of the spectrum, तो मलाई आ जाती है, you remove it. Similarly for water, it is sitting at the bottom end of the spectrum, so that's why we have milk powders. We've been having milk powders quite a lot. Now the challenge is getting in between there and trying to remove one of these which is sitting in right in middle of the spectrum. जैसे चाय बना रहे हो, चाय में चाय पत्ती है और आपका दूध भी है, पानी भी है, सब कुछ है, and at the end when जब उबाला आता है आप उसको आके filter कर रहे हो, the Indian chai making. So when you filter it out, जो भी बड़े molecules है वो उस filter में रह रहे और जो छोटे molecules है वो चाय में उतर रहे, right? And then you're having that tea. So similarly what we've done is with the milk, the biggest molecule we've removed the fat, which is the biggest molecule, and we've been also based on the molecular sizes, we've been also been able to filter out a little bit of lactose, sugar, which is in the center, and that is how we've been able to create a product which is fat free, because we've removed the fat out of it, and we've also been able to remove half of lactose or the sugar in it. It still is milk. All we've done is just put it through a couple of filters and try, and we've been able to get that high protein milk, which I believe is the need of the nation today.
So when you have your other priorities set, since you are developing more than what you were before, so that's where this protein, carbohydrates come into picture, and people start eating consciously more of the protein.
So it comes in because of primarily awareness and education.
Yes. Also, protein is quite a relatable term in the last 5-6 years. See, before that, it was not talked about much, but now even the people who are from the old age category, they know that protein is good for you. They talk about it and they consciously make efforts to have more protein in their diet.
So people in old age particularly, do they need to have that kind of protein for, say, reducing their acquainting with, say, diseases or something, or how does that
not per se for the diseases. again, it's just my opinion based on my experience that even if you are old, you have to eat less, understood. But whatever less you are eating, that has to be good. So what is the definition of good? It has to have all the macros and the micros in place. So if, let's say, if somebody has come to an age where he has decided कि अब यार मैं अपना जितना मेरे को सर्वाइवल के लिए चाहिए उतना ही खाऊंगा, तो उसमें अगर वो if he is not on a high protein as in वो बहुत सिर्फ प्रोटीन ही खा रहा है, डब्बे खा रहा है, ऐसा नहीं, but अपने नेचुरल डाइट में भी if he is eating foods rich in protein, obviously he will have a healthy, life ahead. Yeah, people start losing muscles after an age. The curve is like this. In your child, you start it's easy for you to put on weight or gain muscle. You reach an age where you maintain it, and then when you go old, your body starts getting loose, right? You start losing muscle. That's a natural process. But then you need to fulfill it again. You can't just let it go. So,
एक थोड़ा मिसकंसेप्शन है लोगों में कि अगर आप जिम जा रहे हो तो ही आपको प्रोटीन लेने की ज़रूरत है. I think now since a lot of the internet pe this information is available with a lot of nutritionists talking about that, irrespective of whether you're lifting weight, irrespective of whether you are working out regularly, protein has to be part of your daily diet.
Yeah.
अगर आपका like Nilesh said कि अगर आपका वजन 60 kg है तो आपका 60 तो मिनिमम आपको लेना ही चाहिए प्रोटीन. And I think since I just mentioned कि it's not only people who are working out, and it's not only young people who should be taking protein. I think it's for each and every age, people who are in their senior citizens as well. So I'll just like to share a small thing which happened in my family. There was an uncle of mine who came home and we were just discussing about what my father is having for breakfast, lunch and dinner. So he asked me, आपके पापा क्या खा रहे हैं आजकल, ब्रेकफास्ट में क्या लेते हो आप लोग? So I was like, he's taking poha, upma, and then for lunch I said hari sabji, roti, and I was feeling proud of the fact that he's having breakfast, lunch, and these are the things that he should be having, and dinner light salad खा रहे हैं. And he said like, protein intake कहाँ गया उनका? Where in his meal he's having protein, and that actually shook me कि अरे यार he's not having protein at his age, he's into his 70s. So I think everybody should consciously eat protein in every meal that they're having. Let it be breakfast, lunch or dinner, it should be part of every meal.
I see this to be a part of lifestyle than like a supplement. It's like आप जो normal दूध पी रहे हो, such you go on, you switch into high protein milk, which is going to help you, consume or complete your daily nutrition of proteins.
Right.
I believe that what the product that we are kind of making is, milk itself also has natural enzymes in it, which helps to break that protein in your body. So milk has natural enzymes like lipase, it has natural enzymes like ribonuclease, protease. Do the process the way we've done it without applying high heats to the product. I think we are preserving all of those enzymes which help you easily digest the product. Plus, since the protein is not being treated to high temperatures, the functionality is there. So I believe it's far better to have and take proteins in a natural format than in a processed format.
ठीक है, तो basically ये like जो आपका product आ रहा है इसको या अलग है एंड ऑल ऑफ दैट, इसमें फैट नहीं एंड ऑल, इज इट कंज्यूम द सेम वे? इससे क्या मैं अपने चाय इसके अंदर बना के पी सकता हूँ, दही बन सकती है?
सो सिंस इट्स मिल्क, ऑफ कोर्स कि इससे दही बहुत अच्छा बन जाएगा. we've done trials making curd out of it. You can make a very good high protein curd at home. जैसे normal बनाते हो वैसे ही बनाना है. There is just one differentiation here which is very important for people who are going to consume this product or going to use this product. Now because it has high proteins and proteins get denatured with high temperature. तो इसको आप उबाल नहीं सकते हो. As soon as आप अगर कोशिश करोगे इसको उबालने की तो some of the proteins will get denatured. वो नीचे उतर जाएंगे आप in the whole vessel and will see burning, the proteins burning at the base of the vessel. So boiling of this milk is not recommended, but you can definitely microwave it. You can heat it up to 60-65 degrees. You bring it up a little warmer than your normal drinking temperature, and you can consume it. You can make great cold coffee out of it. So you can make high protein cold coffee at home.
Nice.
You can make high protein milkshakes at home. There is no need for you to rely on something from outside. Talking about solving two purposes, I think it's also one of the important things. But with this base coming in, we can definitely are looking at high protein cold coffee, high protein chocolate.
This is
milk
interesting, man. High
coming
protein
in.
cold coffee, high protein paneer.
Yeah. So as I say, I'm super excited with this thing. So awareness is important. Awareness about this product is important. आप उबालोगे तो उसको वो नीचे लग जाएगा, तो वो जल जाएगा. So it is not that it's a nature of proteins. It cannot tolerate high heat. But apart from that, the boiling part and that burning part, I think you can pretty much use it for everything that you've been using milk for.
But there's one thing that I've learned over here कि अगर कुछ मुझे healthy खाना है तो फिर मुझे बहुत खर्चा करना पड़ेगा. So
वो तो है boss.
So I want to know that क्योंकि because of how high in protein this is, what kind of expenses would I have to incur?
Trying to see how we can fit it into that affordable premium range where 120 rupees for a half liter bottle, which would have 50 grams of proteins, and we are also doing a 300 ml variant, so 30 grams of proteins, which would be priced somewhere at 70-80 rupees. We are still yet to finalize the pricing part. It will definitely be cheaper than what's available out
And
there.
it also has the goodness of milk in it. It's just not protein, no?
Yeah. Achha, with protein powders, you're not replacing your daily consumption of milk.
Milk तो
With
उतना ही
this
आता है घर में.
particular product, you're cutting down on expenses that you were having for milk.
Correct.
Yes.
Right. So in a way, then it becomes a much cheaper source of great protein.
Yeah, because अभी वो पैकेट में भी मिलते हैं protein powders and all just for one time use वाले, and it's I think 70 rupees का one packet जिसमें बन जाता
40 grams, 50 grams.
perfect sample भेज देना.
हाँ जी.
I wanted closing words on the same के what do you want this product to achieve, whether it is say further growth in terms of reaching out to forming different products, to reaching customers whom you haven't yet, what exactly are you looking for from this?
मेरे लिए है कि lifestyle, it has to be a lifestyle product. We are not making this product for gym-goers or for someone for one particular community. Right. It's going to be a lifestyle product जहाँ पे लोगों का protein intake बढ़े. And it becomes a part of, nothing is changing क्योंकि आप उसका दही भी बना रहे हो, दही बन रहा है, आप उसकी कॉफ़ी भी पी सकते हो, आप उसके मिल्क शेक्स भी पी रहे हो, और वो सब करते while you're doing all of that, which you're doing today also, your protein content is increasing. It's a win-win.
What are your plans with it?
My plans, I think it's more about educating customers. If we tell them what benefits they're going to derive after taking milk and they're going to complete their quota of protein intake, I think it's not going to be a difficult product for people to adapt. That's what I feel. It's just about educating people. And since I can tell you, since I've told a lot of friends of mine and people whom we are going to sample, they're all excited about this since they know what gap this is going to fulfill.
Makes sense. And final words from you, I want to know that what exactly excites you about this product as somebody who's so much into fitness. I know that you mentioned the fact that the kind of protein that a body requires and that it would fulfill that, but it does bridge in certain gaps like you were saying. So as somebody who's into a certain industry, how much of a role do you think it would play in it?
Look, it's a very small change and a big result for me. Because दूध तो आना ही है घर में, तो इसकी जगह ये ले लेंगे, तो उसका outcome मेरे लिए बहुत अच्छा है. For me and for my family also. So that's what my take is.
You know, with regard to shelf life also, it's because it's milk. It only has, it will have that 2 days of shelf life. जैसे आपका regular दूध होता है, if you refrigerate, probably get it a little longer. Plus again, this product is not something which is very retail focused. We would be focusing on pushing this through our app itself and through probably the quick commerce's 10 minutes delivery, because it most fits into that the channel fit is there for this particular low shelf life product.
And how it started this entire conversation about the protein intake in India. In particular, if that increases, that would also make a difference in terms of, say, a general health consensus.
Yeah, 100%. Today, the majority of Indians in their old age are facing problems with, muscular pains, joint pains, किसी के घुटने दर्द कर रहे, knee surgeries are, increasing by the day. There are back
diabetes
issues,
is there.
back issues, there are diabetes. So, in general, I believe it's a perfect product for our country, and I think everybody should benefit from it.
Perfect. Looking forward.
All right.
Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Thank you.